Hello everyone, welcome to the video. Today I'll be showcasing my Remastered 200BX for BeamNG.drive. Like and subscribe if you want. Hope you enjoyed the video. So first vehicle we're going to be checking out is my 200BX beta config. So if I just read the description of it real quick. Here for sale, I have my BCU 200BX Type L. It has a CL20 swap, only done highway miles, no expense spared. I know what I have, 5,500 or very nearest offer. The actual value of it is 500 because it's a pile of shit, but it's just a joke. You get the idea. So, this thing features very bad paint, flat tires, engine that is overheating, and also has broken head gasket, rod knock, broken con rods, just all the things that would cause it probably not to run very well. It's also got a damaged intake, which also has an actual feature, so it will go into limp mode, etc. Yeah, so we'll start it. So as you can hear, this car has a check engine light and a rough idle. And if I accelerate, you can see that it hesitates. And if you're up high in the revs for too long, it will go into limp mode, which it just did, which will basically lock the red line at 2.5K. There's a part to remove this feature if you don't want it. If you want to reset it, then you can just turn off the car and turn it back on again, and it'll reset. This thing's very low on power. But good at off-roading. As far as how long the engine will last, I don't actually have a clue. It's basically a ticking time bomb. And even has the ticking to go with it. Anyway, I think it's time to crash this thing. Put this thing back onto its wheels and check out the damage. So the roof is crushed in a bit. The front is damaged quite a bit here. Back is also pretty damaged. Got the lights broken. Check engine light is still on. Not that that would change. Okay. Next version. Now, versions that are stock to the game, all they have is remastered taillights, and that's it. So I won't be checking those out. But the next version to check out is the off-road, another new config. So tail light, sorry, all of the original configs have the modular exhaust, which is basically just this. Here you go. So the remastered exhaust is modular, so you've got the actual normal pipe, and then you've got the muffler, the catalytic converter, and then the sport, and then the front muffler as well. So those all have parts that you can switch out, and they all affect the sound of the car as well. So all of the cars have that. So this is the off-road config. It's on lifted suspension. It's got a light bar that turns on with the high beams. It's got this bash bar here. It's got the turbocharged inline 4, the stock inline 4. It's got these black wheels without the center caps, and these rippled tires, roll cage, fire extinguisher, and this boost gauge there on the left. and the exhaust, and the removed catalytic converter as well. This thing's quite fun to drive. I only really recommend driving it off the road though, because that's what it's been tuned for. It's only rear-wheel drive, so no all-wheel drive with this one. Wanted it to be somewhat authentic to the 200BX, so I didn't want to add all-wheel drive. Let's put it back onto its wheels. This is how this looks. There's a bit bent up in the front here. Bumper's bent in under the bash bar. Looks like the light bar is kind of snapped. Back is ruined. Yep, that's that version. Okay, next custom version to check out is the Facelift version of the base. This is just the base version of the car, but with the facelift. All the lights work. Low beams and high beams. Indicators too. And the cool thing about the front end is it's another modular one, so you can swap out certain parts, or we'll have the option to. There isn't really many aftermarket options for it at the moment. So inside the hood you have the facelift hood latch, which basically adds the mounting points for the lights as well as the extended latch for the hood. So if I... There you go, you can see it there. There's the extension. Then you can have the grille option, so we've got the stock painted grille, and you can also have painted light housings as well. And then the flat plastic grille. Flat painted grille as well. We'll just return it back to stock. And then there's a carbon facelift hood as well, which is currently broken. I need to fix that. It looks like they've updated the texture. I'll have to release that as a bug fix. Alright, in the headlights, so we've got the left headlight and the right headlight as normal. Let's remove the bonnet so you can see what's going on a bit better. When you remove the bonnet, the grille moves as well, and also when you break one of the lights, the grille will hang down on whichever side is broken as well. So the grille itself is attached to the lights with the bolts that you see here and the brackets that are attached to the grille. But another cool little feature about the lights, obviously you can switch out the housing to be painted, like so. But also on top of that, because there are different engine bay accessories, so for example if I go up here and switch to the minimalistic ones, you can see that the cable here doesn't fit anymore, but you can actually switch out the cable to the aftermarket one, which will make it fit on the different wiring loom. So it's the same story on the other side. We'll do that now. Like so. And then we have the right housing, so you can do that as well. There's also options to eventually swap out the actual style of the headlight, but I haven't gotten around to doing it yet. Kind of wanted to move on from this project, maybe come back to it later. Yeah, that's this version of the car, and I also wanted to show you guys that little feature because it's something that might not be noticed straight away. So the Type L facelift and the Type LS facelift are exactly the same. They are just the original config but with a facelift version, and there's also automatic versions and manual versions of those cars as well. So next one is onto the Type S, which is a new model. The Type S has a CR20 engine, which looks like this. So I went for like a law-friendly sort of SR20 style engine. It has these steelies with the hubcaps that can actually be taken off and broken. It's got the sports exhaust. The Type S is just sports, basically. It's just a sports trim. So it's got the single exit exhaust instead. I think steering wheel is different as well. This one's the auto, so it's kind of boring. But we'll crash it. The CR20 has a little bit more power than the stock engine, but it's known for its overheating issues, but there are upgrades for the engine, so you can make it more strong and fix some of the overheating issues. So I'll crash this one. Since the rest of them are the same, minus the facelift. Well, we'll crush the facelift, actually. I don't think you guys have seen the damage on that yet. So there's that. We'll grab the facelift version as well. And we'll crash this one. The bumper's already off. And the girl said bye. So there's that. Let's put this thing back onto its wheels real quick. Get it on the street as well. So the roof's damaged in a bit. The hubcaps have all bent up a bit. Both front lights are broken. Hood's popped up. Roof is a bit damaged, but mostly from when I put it back onto its wheels. Yep. Next version. Next version is the Stance, which is a death trap. This thing does not drive very well at all. Mostly due to the alignment. It's slammed. It's just basically for aesthetics. It's also pretty much the exact same config as you get on a lot of the other BeamNG cars, but I wanted to add it to this one as well, since it was missing. This thing is terrifying to drive. It crabs all over the place, as you can tell. I removed the anti-roll bars to make it more terrifying. I definitely succeeded. Oh god. Oh jeez. Yeah, there's the Stance version. Let's do some off-roading. Oh jeez. Bro. I suppose that works. Put it back onto its wheels. This one's only available in automatic. There's that version. Next version we have is the beginner drift. Now this is a config that I built purely for my style of driving. I found the stock drift car, the config that's provided by BeamNG, didn't have enough power, so I added a bit more. I'll give you a comparison. It's also using the CR20 as well. So, lightly modified 200BX Type S tuned for drifting. And if we go to the performance stats, it's got 280 foot-pound of torque at 5,300 RPM, 285 brake horsepower at 5,450 RPM, whereas the stock drift one has 214 foot-pound of torque, 231 brake horsepower. So I just wanted to give it a little bit more as well. It's got higher top speed, but that doesn't really matter. But yeah, we'll test it. So this one has a drift handbrake, as well as the drift steering wheel as well. Not much else going on with this other than that. CR20 engine, these different wheels and tyres. The tyre pressures are different in the front and the rear as to give you more grip bias towards the front. It's got aftermarket exhaust with the sport catalytic converter and the sport muffler as well. These roads are definitely not suited to drifting, but I'll try my best. Oh jeez. We'll switch map for this one, so we have somewhere better to drift. Looks like it spawned in the correct colour this time. Or the lighting was different in the other map, I'm not sure, that was unusual. But, it means I've got no bugs to fix, that's good. So yeah, we'll take this thing for a bit of a drift. There's this one corner back here that I really like to drift, so we'll go there. I'm a really crap controller, so I'm not sure how good I'll be. This car was tuned on my old controller that was actually good. Oh shit. See if we can get this one corner. Yeah. It's pretty good at donuts, very capable. I think it's pretty good at drifting. It's got this little lip in the front here as well. I forgot to point that out. And some bucket seats. Or the driver's seat is bucket seat, sorry. But yeah. That's this version. So we'll move on to the next one. Next version is the Track Day Beta. This one's reminiscent of Ryan Cooper's car in Need for Speed Pro Street. We had the drag version, but I wanted to do the grip version as well. I'll take it for a spin. So this one's just got the NA engine in it, no turbo. this aftermarket wheel and bucket seats on both. The roll cage, stock exhaust, but it's got the sport catalytic converter and the muffler as well. So we'll take it for a spin. So it's quite a low power car. It doesn't have very much, but it's got a lot of grip. Wanted to basically get the best experience from this, so anyone could just jump in and have a bit of fun with it without the worry of like spinning out or anything like that. Just a very easy car to get into and race around a track or on the street or whatever. I think handles pretty good. You can still get it to kick out if you're really aggressive with it, but you're not likely to do that unless you're trying to, like I just did. Crash this into a wall. Yep. Cool. Next version. This is the show car. The show car has some cool features as well. So the show car has this midnight purple / pearl sort of paint on it. It has air ride as well, which you can lower with L. So it just lowers it all the way down basically, and then raise with K. And you can also use T and G to lower the front and rear separately as well if you really want to do that. It has the stealthy boost gauge there. Stock handbrake. It's got the bucket seats too. And I ripped the front off by mistake. Whatever. It's got the twin turbo bolide V8 in it, with the turbos that actually spin. It's got this front bumper with the aftermarket lights in it as well. This body kit, just a lip kit really, and the custom like grille without the centerpiece in there. This thing's got a lot of power. I think it's around 500 horsepower. Aftermarket exhaust, of course. This car isn't really designed to be driven though, it's more of something that looks good, will look good at a car show, etc. But you can attempt to drift it if you really want to. I just tried and failed. Does really good burnouts. It's quite loud. Crash this one as well. There's that one. Knocked out every light other than the middle brake light. This front light survived though somehow. It's got custom intercooler piping as well. Custom intercooler as well with this like extra bit welded on. Next version and last version is the Author. Now the Author is basically my law-friendly company within the world of BeamNG.drive, and they make custom cars. This is basically one of them. What it does is it takes the original 200BX chassis and it removes all of the stock plastic trim, indents and stuff on the entire car. Most people probably wouldn't be to their taste. I have had people say that they don't really like how it looks. It looks empty, but I like it, so that's why I did it. It's got this aftermarket exhaust with the no catalytic converter and the muffler. It has a tuned ETK inline 6, which I can show you as well. So here it is. Custom intercooler piping again there. There's the little turbo with the air filter on it as well. The engine. It's got these Author wheels as well. These are available in this black colour and also a more chrome sort of colour. And they've got a bit of concavity to them as well. I think that's a word. Other than that, it's just standard stuff. It's got like a cleaned up rear bumper as well. Aftermarket front bumper. The stock facelift grille and lights. It's actually an entirely different unibody as well. Anyway, onto the interior. It's got the stealthy boost gauge and the shift light as well, as well as the aftermarket infotainment. So you can see there it's playing Darude Storm Sand After the Storm. So let's take this thing for a spin. So I went for kind of a mix between drivability and how it looks as well. So it's got kind of stiff suspension, but it's got good power, and at lower speeds it does a lot better. Not really a track weapon though, but we'll try. Oh dear. Do you want to get better at tuning suspension so it's not so stiff? Crash this one as well. That was kind of a shit crash. We'll do it again. Move this over here. So we lost the wheel. We've broken one of the headlights. Windscreen smashed. Yep, pretty damaged. No longer moves. But yeah. that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed checking out all the cars. There's a lot more intricacy to the mod than what you see here. There's a lot more going on, but I just can't show all of it because honestly I can't even remember all the stuff I've added. But that gives you guys a reason to download it and check it out. There'll be a link in the description. The mod today currently is still waiting for approval, so I don't know when the link will be added, but it will be added once the mod is released. Anyway, goodbye.